for the fans, welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada, as the Las Vegas Fury look to keep pace in a tight SFL Western Division against the surprising 4-2 Portland Fleet. Live from Silver State Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm Colin Northup. He's Rick Northup.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Justin Reside and Art Vandelay are on stats today. After a week off, we're back in the saddle.
Giddy up.
What a Fleet, led by his surging running back, Ezekiel Love, as well as the 6th overall pick in the SFL rookie draft, O.J. Bruin. They go up against the Portland defense that has the surprising start. Second-year player Tom Krieg, and of course the veteran Merrick Itera and Max Jackson back there help patrol the secondary as well. The rookie quarterback calling the toss of the coin is won by the home team, who wears their all-black uniforms today. Portland in all white. It should be a good one. Portland's beaten some really good teams. Beat up on London last week and then beat Denver, who was the head coaching staff of Portland owner Jacob Bavette before he got his own team. Vegas, meanwhile, just trying to inch closer to 500. They're 2-4. And we're underway. Turn up the middle. Cross to the 29. Goes Leo Morris, starting quarterback, and we'll get our first look at O.J. Bruin, number 1. Halfback is Ezekiel Love, number 21. Fullback is John Trusman, number 33. Wide receivers, Art Vandelay, Gene Ballantyne, and Benjamin Warner. Tight end, Nelson Lozano Jr. Here's the give off to Love, and Love's first carry will pick up about 4 yards on the play. It'll be it. 2nd and 6. I'll introduce you to this Las Vegas defense. Mike Baker and Christopher Colon are the defensive ends. Rhett Sawyer, A.K. Jones are the defensive tackles. Eric Davis, Lynn Shady are the linebackers. Chris Megel, Merrick Itera are the corners. Nicky Colentrelli, Tom Krieg, and Max Jackson are the safety. Here's the second straight carry for Love. This time he'll get stopped in the line of scrimmage for no gain to set up a 3rd and 6. So 2 runs from Portland so far. Do the Fleet put it up in the air, Rick?
You know, I don't know. They probably should. We'll see. I'll also mention the Rick Meter is in the house with us today, carefully watching. Both of these teams, as Las Vegas is trying to sort of get themselves back on track, as you mentioned, Colin.
Bruin will put it up in the air, and it'll be an out route to the top of the screen. And Art Vandelay with some nice moves as he picks up a first down to the 44.
The old dipsy-doo down the sideline there, don't you know? And when I mean Las Vegas trying to right the ship, they're not sitting on the record at 2-4 that they had planned on or expected.
Correction, that was Gene Valentine on the reception, number 82.
Valentine's Day, eh? And you've got a surging and surprising question mark Portland Fleet, Colin?
They were 5-7 last year. Win today will match their entire win total from all of last year. Here's Bruin, left-handed quarterback, throws, and it's nearly an interception. He had Vandelay open, but Max Jackson was able to get his hands on the underthrown ball, 2nd and 10.
I was warming up the woo-nilly.
9:36 to go in the first quarter. Portland's a touchdown and a half underdogs at home. 54.5 the over-under total. Bruin in the split shotgun, back to throw, fires down the middle, and this time it is intercepted. Looking for Vandelay and Jackson, able to get his hands on it that time.
Whoa, Nelly. Am I right?
And a prolific interceptor. He came off of Benjamin Warner when he realized Vandelay was the intended target, and he picked it off.
Picked it off indeed.
Joseph Green, rookie quarterback, number 7 is the quarterback. Scott Johnson and A-star Miramontes are the backs. Wide receivers are John Blades, Mason Carby, and Doug Britton. And Tiberius Spellvine, Hall of Famers, tight end number 89.
Uh-oh.
And Green is hit as he throws. It's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for this Portland defense. They're all youngins, but they've grown up together. Robert Brower is the defensive end. Duran Nuevo is the other. Bernard Patterson and Gary Burney are the defensive tackles. Mel Davis, Gary Clem, and Khalil Thomas are the linebackers. Chris Stosh, Derek Major, Leo Morris are the corners. Bob Funk, and Sean Allen are the safeties. And we have a sack on the play.
Oh, my.
Brought down on the play by number 92, Robert Brower.
Back-to-back rough plays there for them. We didn't get a chance to comment on that pump fake that led to the awkward throw into the ground in the previous play. After having stymied the opening drive, putting them in great position, they need to produce right here, Colin.
Oh, and that's not going to help. Pass intended for Britton, but Larson, the reserve cornerback number 40 on the deflection, is Vegas goes 5 wide, and it's 3 plays and a punt for the Fury. Portland defense does its job early, Rick.
They do. They make up for the miscue by the offense, and going to get the ball back for them.
Other games kicking off today. We have 2:20. Atlanta taking on D.C. That's going to be a good matchup. Atlanta leading the Eastern Division, and of course D.C. is surging. That'll be interesting to watch as Morris handles the return to the 28.
If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and role-playing, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy.
3 wide receivers split backs. Bruin back to throw. Fires over the middle. Vandelay with the catch. We'll pick up close to 10 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and less than 1.
Let's see if they'll tempt fate with those throws down the middle. They had one tipped away prior to the interception on the last possession.
No, they give to their halfback Love. He's their bell cow, and Ezekiel Love picks up a first down to the 43-yard line.
Indeed. Move the chains, right? Let's just settle down on O.
For the Las Vegas offense, they were shut out last week against Baltimore, 37-0.
Ooh.
For Portland, they beat a really good London team. Their secondary picked off Johnny Pickler quite a few times, and this is a team on the rise. The Fleet, as the throw goes over the middle, this is complete. The first catch of the day for Benjamin Warner, picks up 5.
Yeah, and that's saying something. You know, Pickler is maybe is he a vet yet? He's an emerging vet with a lot of skills, and like you say, count for the Portland D to have that many picks. Says something about their secondary.
2 tight ends. Love up the middle, picks up the first down. Great blocks downfield by the fullback John Trusman, number 33. And Love has a first down.
This just in from the D line of Portland. They're part of that. They're part of that equation too. Yes.
No, the O line of Portland.
On the picks, on their defensive success.
Yes.
The D line is part of that mix too.
3 wide, split backs, Bruin under center.
Maybe you didn't read the memo. You're an emerging reader, is that what I hear? Hey, quit shaking your fist at me.
As Warner catches it out of bounds for 6 this time. Out of bounds at the 40 he goes. 2nd and 4. Now they go 2 tight ends again, this time offset to the strong side. And Bruin over the another interception. Oh, he threw it right to the defender, and that time it was Slim Shady.
Was that over the middle again? Rubs chin. Looks to the sky.
Looking for the tight end coming across Nelson Lozano Jr. And let's see if this Vegas offense can
They get another gift from their D. You're right, Colin. Let's see
do something with this gift. They go 2 tight ends the same side. Green back to throw, throws over the middle, and it's knocked down this time by Bob Funk. Pass intended for John Blades.
Well, let's hope they don't get a gift wrap salad, Jello salad for their present.
A great read by Funk. The lives in Syracuse, New York.
New York. Great town. We actually been through there before, haven't we, Colin?
We have on occasion.
The Mohawk had the temerity to flood the thruway. We stopped there and hung out for a day.
Offset I formation. Here's the first carry today for Scott Johnson, and Johnson picks up 6 yards on his first carry today as Miramontes throws a good block to Spring Johnson for 6 yards.
He tried to split the defenders with a whirligig move. It didn't work. They brought him down, but he still jaws at him as he gets up and heads back to the huddle.
3rd and 4, much more manageable for Vegas this time. They go 3 wide receivers. Single tight end is Bovine. And Green, the lefty, throws it out to Johnson. Johnson has to make something happen, but he'll be a yard short of first down. Combo tackle made. And Vegas, after they got a little momentum going forward, they're forced to punt. And Dustin McCrack, the 5th-year punter, is on the field for the punt.
Can we talk about a little nerdy football on that? The first down was makeable, but the ball was delivered behind the receiver, Colin, and that forced him to slow down, reach back, and the defense caught up before he could reach the line to gain. It's those little things that make a big difference.
And looks like they were trying to draw him off sides, but they'll be unsuccessful. No harm, no foul with it being in the first quarter. Michael Irvine having a discussion with his rookie quarterback, rather animated about that previous sequence of plays there.
Well, here we go. Now we're back to business.
McRack on for the punt. And he gets a good one away. This is good hang time. Oh, it's over 4 seconds. Morris with a nice juke to make the first defender miss before being tackled at the 18.
And that was good special teams play there by your Las Vegas Fury. And their defense has been fairly stout. Let's see what the Portland team can do, maybe do differently than their first 2 possessions, Colin.
And this will most likely be a pass as Ezekiel Love is in the shotgun. He's got to be careful. He's 4 of 7 for 30 yards, but he's thrown 2 interceptions. He goes deep down the field. Going to be picked off again by Max Jackson.
Oh boy. Cue the oh boy gif.
Oh no. Jackson's 2nd interception. Trying to go for the home run on first down. I don't necessarily agree with the call, Rick.
Well, if you're going to go deep, that's first down isn't a bad place to do it, but they've had, that's 3 picks on 3 medium and deep passes.
Let's see if the Fury can take advantage. They're in the offset eye with Bovine flexed. to the bottom side of the formation. Here's to get to Johnson, cuts back inside and gets yardage out to the 36.
That's a sturdy little run. I'm going to be happy with that.
Joseph Green still looking for his first completion. Let's see if he gets it here. It's a second down and rather manageable situation. Nickel defense out for the Fleet. He'll dump this off to Johnson, and Johnson gonna be racked up. No, they said forward progress stopped at the line of scrimmage, so even though he was knocked backwards close to the 50.
Okay, so R62's got a generous heart because he ran backwards under his own power. It wasn't like he might have been thrown back a little bit, but then he continued to run.
3rd and 6, they empty the backfield. Here's Green, fires, and it's a completion for positive yardage this time. He finds his big receiver, John Blades, for the first down to the Fleet 26. Of course, these interdivisional matchups, so critical. Both of these teams in the Pacific Division. Here's Green back to throw. Fires down to the goal line. Goes the Hall of Famer Bovine. Funk saves a touchdown by just a whisker.
Tiberius Bovine looked like he might have fallen into the end zone, but his knee was down.
He might have a beef with the referee over that spot.
He might. They might need to spot it in the end zone. Where's the red hanky? Let's go.
The hanky's not out right now. Green is under center. Johnson the single back. 2 receivers to the top side of the formation. Here's to get to Johnson, and he walks in untouched for the TD. And Las Vegas, after going 4 quarters without a touchdown last week, scores here with 3:19 to go into first.
As they break the ice against Portland, and they got to be thrilled with that. Their defense is playing well, and now they put some points on the board.
Good blocks out there on the edge by Bovine and tackles on the offensive line. And Las Vegas able to take advantage of the interception and will travel 6 plays to go 37 yards and a 1-yard touchdown by Robert Johnson.
Thanks to
Justin Reside and Art Vandalay on stats for these teams. Matt Rage, who was signed out of retirement in week 4.
Signed out of retirement? Yeah, I forgot about that.
Makes the extra point up and good. 7-0 Vegas.
If you haven't checked out Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, they're not a bad little country rock band.
Here's the kickoff by Rage, fielded by Morris. And Morris has an opening, gets tackled at the 33. Portland with good starting field position. Let's see if the young quarterback, Mr. Bruin, can, hold on to the football.
Yeah, well, not throw it to his definition of the bad guys. And the Rick meter is taking notice here of Las Vegas's good secondary. Maybe it's Portland's proclivity to throw it deep and over the middle, but impressed by Las Vegas at this point is the Rick meter.
Quick drop from Bruin, fires short over the middle. That's a good call. That'll pick up yardage to the 42. As you see the quarterback comparison early in terms of yards, Bruin now has the edge, but unfortunately for him, he's got those 3 interceptions.
Right. Not much to write home about relative to the yardage, but it's a hold the phone Western Union Telegram message for Portland.
Fullback in the backfield. Here to give to Love, the second man through. Makes a couple nice juke moves to get around some of his offensive linemen who are blocking and gets it up to the 49. Just a beautiful run there by Love, using a couple nifty moves to get around some of his guys who are throwing blocks, including his fullback John Trusman. Now they have two tight ends to the same side. They'll run to the tight end side, and Love with a couple nice spin moves in the hole picks up 7.
That's some classic running football, rushing football right there. Gotta love that.
Second down and 3. Portland empties the backfield again. This time they go 4 wide, including the tight end.
Ooh.
Lozano, who dropped the ball that time.
Well, I'm not sure he was expecting it, as he was covered by 2 guys very close.
Chris Magel was the closest defender to the ball. It's 3rd down and 3 for the Fleet. They've converted their only 3rd down situation faced so far. Let's see what they do here. Over the middle, Nelson Lozano Jr., and it's incomplete. Of course, there's some
Yes.
off the field stuff that Nelson's had to deal with in terms of personal stuff that might be
Maybe
a bit distracting to him,
Yeah, sorry for going fanboy and exclaiming over your description of the play, Colin, but I thought that was going to work.
Punt on the field. Dominic Birkin. And Las Vegas will let this bounce, and that's not necessarily a wise decision. It'll be down inside the 10 at the 6.
Great special teams play by Portland.
And I believe, yes, that was Leo Morris down there on special teams. With a great hustle play, I may add. As Las Vegas will now have to travel a bit of a ways if they want to score this time. They do have a field goal kicker on their roster, so that shortens the area they need to go. As Johnson goes up the middle, picks up 2. Good, solid tackle in the hole by Gary Clem, the outside linebacker, number 41. Good fundamental tackle, as it were.
Indeed. Let's see if they can convert the first down on this series. Otherwise, Portland, if they can force a punch, they have good field position.
They go power O this time, and Johnson with a spin move, and he's loose. Got Johnson in the open field. Only one man to get him, and he's finally brought down by Derek Majors at the Portland 46.
Oh,
wow, what a run.
Well, that's one way to get the first down. First down and more.
Just a simple power O play. Great block out there by John Blades, and a couple of athletic moves by Johnson. And credit to Majors running him down.
Majors. Lee Majors. Colonel Steve Austin. There's a bionic flair to him.
3 receivers. Johnson again on the carry. This time he stopped for a loss of 3. By number 75, the defensive tackle, Gary Burney.
He takes out their frustration in giving up that long play with a tackle in the TFL. A tiffle. A tackle.
Approaching the end of the quarter. Let's see if Vegas gets a playoff here. They do. It's a Johnson handoff up the middle, and they gain almost all the lost yards back. End of one quarter, Las Vegas in front of Portland, 7-0. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on FTF. There's Doug Britton out as part of this 5-wide set for Joseph Green, the rookie left-handed quarterback. He's back to throw. Fires. Intercepted on the play by Mel Davis.
Not sure he saw Mel Davis back there. Just kind of as a spy in his eyes, if you will. There he is.
Looking for Mason Kirby over the middle on a short crossing in pattern. Read beautifully by Davis that time. And it'll be a 4th down punt. So the big run by Johnson ultimately
goes for naught other than field position.
And McCrack on for his 2nd punt of the day. This will be a solid punt.
Oh, and another
I'll
one.
be down inside the... Oh, it rolled to the end zone. The guys just stood there and let the ball roll.
They forgot to actually touch it before it went into the end zone, you know?
What'd they think? It was just going to stick in the ground and, say, oh, there you go.
Well, they already had it inside the 5, and they stood around and looked at it. I'm reminded of in finance, there's a rule, or there's a saying, as the saying goes, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered.
Here's Nelson Lozano Jr. catches his first pass of the day, and it's a solid slant cut for 6 yards. This guy's an inviting target at 6'6", 255. Is an athletic guy, yes, but he's critical in their run game with both Ezekiel Love and John Truzman. Truzman lines up in front of Love. And the offset eye, single receiver to the top.
Little power.
And they do go power, but A.J. Jones blows it up in the backfield.
Blown up, sir.
For a loss on the play. And sets up a 3rd and 6 on their own 24 with just under 10 minutes now and counting to go until halftime.
Do I understand you men completed your training on your own? That's a fact, Jack.
They go 3 wide receivers. Pair of guys in the backfield. Bruin is going to go down. He didn't have any time to set and throw.
It looked like he was trying to step up in the pocket, and somebody reaches out and takes his shins away from him there.
It's Mike Baker, the defensive end, that got there almost from the snap. As he just beats his man to the inside. Set up a 4th and 10. Appreciate you spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Here watching the Simulation Football League. I know there's plenty of activities in terms of football going on as the return goes up to the 48-yard line.
In addition to watching the game, visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player, to join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it, and a comprehensive history of the SFL. It's over 1,500 games, and it's thousands of players who've hit the virtual field. Simulation Football League 17 seasons strong, my friend Colin.
2 people in the backfield. Here's to get to Johnson. Johnson with a spin and carrying defenders for an 8-yard gain.
Wow. Yeah. Just plowing ahead.
He's now up to 65 yards on 10 carries. Had that 41-yard run a couple drives ago. Bovine flexed out as the 3rd wide receiver, staring at a standard 4-3 defense from the Fleet. Back to throw, pumps his screen over the middle. Slant catch made for the 1st down by John Blades. His 2nd grab of the ball game sets him up with another 1st down.
Watch this. It just kind of hits him in stride, sort of drops it right in there. Got it.
And credit to Derek Majors. He was right there, step for step with his man. Just a better placed ball by the rookie quarterback.
Color me impressed. Speaking of impressed, the Rick meter is impressed with Las Vegas, and it's now showing lean Las Vegas. Not leaving, leaning Las Vegas.
Here's the throw out of the backfield to A-Star Montez, and she manages to pick up 9.5 yards on the little flare pass out of the backfield.
Little known fact, Sheryl Crow's sort of draft or demo copy of Leaving Las Vegas was originally Leaning Las Vegas. Tribute to the Rick Meter. Asked Cheryl to, she could do better, as much as I appreciated that. Became an epic hit.
Green, under center, gives to Johnson, and Johnson is stopped in the backfield. They say it lost a full half a yard or so.
It looked like he might actually still push it over, but he did not.
Indeed. It's a 3rd and 1 situation now for Las Vegas. Here's to get to Johnson again, picks up the first down and more. Of course, Las Vegas, they beat Denver in the classic Vice Wars rivalry. Yes, they call it Vice Wars because you have Vegas, the gambling capital of the world.
Yes.
On the West Coast, and you have one of the hubs for marijuana in the United States, being the state of Colorado. So that's an apt named rivalry, and Vegas looks to carry that momentum forward.
The state of Colorado just called. They would like you to refer to it, Colin, as recreational cannabis. And Las Vegas isn't on the West Coast. They're in the West, I guess.
They're in the West, yes. Sorry, geography can be hard.
Let me map it out for you.
So Vegas definitely using their momentum here. Scott Johnson's in the end zone for another touchdown.
Mr. Johnson having himself quite a day, Colin.
It's now 13-0, and the home crowd has to be feeling happy. The Fury looks like they're having some momentum.
Yeah, the hometown crowd's beginning to think about hitting the casino buffet, potentially, in celebration, but it's early. Let me remind everybody to just calm the heck down. A lot of football to be played here.
That was a 7-play, 47-yard drive with a 5-yard rushing touchdown from Johnson.
What do Johnson's numbers look like? You got a read on that?
Has 75 yards on 13 carries with 2 touchdowns. Also has a reception for 6 yards.
He's your early player of the game. Right now, your virtual player of the game in my mind.
I get a shout out from Art Vandelay. He says he loves the reference to stripes that you made earlier.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm getting too old for this sometimes.
Here is the kick to Leo Morris, and Morris returns to the 28. And, Portland's got to get some kind of momentum going offensively, or otherwise this game is going to get away from them.
It could be, yeah. I mean, it's not that big of a hill, really. Just a score here, I think, will help stem the tide. And, congratulations to Art Vandelay on stats, too. And the commissioner, tabs a young officer like Art for a key assignment like this. It means there's big things coming in the future.
Ezekiel Love was trapped back there in the backfield before Slim Shady knocked him down for a loss of 2. Had some good runs early, but he's having trouble lately. He's now down to 28 yards rushing.
Ooh.
On 8 carries.
It's tough sledding. I think that's the definition of tough sledding.
2nd and 12. Receiver to side. And Bruin over the middle to Nelson Lozano Jr. Make it 3rd and 3.
Well, let's see what they can dial up here. Very makeable 3rd down play, Colin.
3rd and 3. Here's to get a Love on that.
There we go.
Rico power, and there he goes. He's to the 40. He's to the 30. Yeah, runs back, checks it to 10-5. Touchdown, Portland. And just like that, they're on the board.
Speaking of stemming the tide, Congratulations, nicely done. And who was that in pursuit there, did you say, for Las
It was Max Jackson.
Max Jackson.
And Love just outran the angle.
Well, it's like he all of a sudden took a different angle. Maybe he thought right there. Oh, I can't get him. You're just too darn fast.
And John Trusman with a great pancake block down the field, helping to spring his tailback. But credit to the offensive line as well. Love was not touched at all during that play.
Is that right?
Well, at least that's what my eyes told me.
No doubt, eh?
David John, extra point is up and good. So with 5:25
In the second.
left in the first half of play, it's 14-7. Vegas in front, but Portland all of a sudden has the momentum on their side.
My God, they sparked up. They'd run that power a couple of times. Middling success until bang. Bango, bango. For you Mickey Redmond fans and the Detroit Red Wings.
This kick by Johns goes all the way down to the 3. And Doug Britton, who's an explosive return man, gets it out to the 26. So now if you're Vegas, you were well in control, you were cruising, and now you feel the need to respond. But I don't think you panic here. There's still plenty of time for you to run your offense. I'd feel.
I think so.
He's there in the nickel defense. Oh, Green throws out to Johnson, who makes a nifty maneuver to grab the ball, but it's only a pickup of 2.
That's another not errant throw, but not as accurate as it needs to be in the catch radius, but behind the runner, which slows the momentum.
They're going to call it a pickup of 2. Here's offset I formation with 2 tight ends to one side. Tight end either side, rather. Green going deep down the field, and it's knocked away by Sean Allen. Incomplete. He's going for the bundle, and Allen made a better play on the ball.
The bundle of joy. But Allen knocks that baby away. Is it okay if I laugh at my own puns? I'm sorry.
It's okay if you laugh at your own puns. There's Sean at 8.
Because I know what you're going to say next. There's only one person laughing. It's me.
And line up in the gun straight formation. Here to go with a post route, corner route down the field. What a catch by John Blades in front of Derek Majors, who Blades is now 48 yards on 3 receptions. What a throw by Green.
Indeed.
It was just a jump ball, and he used Blades' height, did Green, and lobbing the ball. Blades 6'4", against the cornerback, and Majors, it's only 5'10", 216. Here's throw. This will be a pickup of about 7, and that's the first catch of the day for the Hall of Famer, Tiberius Bovine. Second and 3. They haven't been in a lot of these manageable situations, Rick, where getting good gains on first down allows them to travel shorter distances on second and third. Here's a toss play, and Johnson nearly got the first down.
They're going to say he was down. It looked like he had crossed the line. Yeah, and also one of your favorite points, too, when you've got second and short, you really have a lot of options inside your playbook. You can do a lot of things, which, of course, one of the objectives on offense is to try and get the defense into a guessing mode, and second and short is always helpful.
It's a third and short. Johnson, he got the first down more than 30, and he's tackled by Bob Funk at the 20-yard line.
Wow, he hits his IndyCar push to pass there and gets some extra yardage.
He was flying down the field. As soon as he made that cut to get around Miramontes, made a spin move inside to make Sean Allen look silly. And he just ran by Bob Funk, and Bob Funk had to do all he can to bring him down. As we are fast approaching the 2-minute warning. 2:50 and counting to go in the first half. And Vegas wearing the all blacks with the yellow and red flame accents. And Johnson again! The same play, and he scores. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Oh my goodness.
Nearly. The ball needs a little CPR there. That's right. Hail to the victors. That's the cadence, in case you didn't know.
Well, look at this move on Sean Allen. He just spun him off in the whole one-on-one, and he makes the big play. And with that run, he's now over 100 yards. He's at 112 yards on 16 carries, and that's his third touchdown of the day.
I regret to inform the Portland faithful that was a really nice run by Las Vegas.
Extra point is up and good, and we have a 21-7 game with 2:37 to go in the first half of play. Looks like Vegas is using the good vibes they got from beating their big division rival last week, and they're carrying it forth.
Well, they're going to end up winning the first half here, barring a couple of surprise possessions or scores by Portland. Las Vegas has to feel good about that.
Here is the return by Morris up to the 26. Portland had a good offensive drive last possession. They had 3 plays, 63 yards, and that 57-yard touchdown run. That Vegas touchdown drive was 7 plays, 73 yards, and 19-yard touchdown run by Scott Johnson. So we're getting to see a little back and forth. It's critical for the Fleet that they score here of some kind, especially 7, as that's a good start as they give to Ezekiel Love. He picks up 5.
Yeah, let's not forget about how costly those early turnovers were, Colin, for Portland.
2 turnovers in their first 2 drives. Let's welcome in Ashley Jackson to the chat. Always enjoy seeing Ashley around.
Either virtually or in person.
Ezekiel Love is loose again. He's down the field, and Slim Shady tackles him at the 35. We reached the 2-minute warning. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on FTF Portland, looking to respond before the half. Explosive run by Love, his second longest of the day. Two plays of this drive so far, both runs. Now this will be the first pass of the drive, and Nelson Lozano Jr. picks up a first down to the Vegas 23, and the big tight end, he's starting to make an impact.
And OJ, lots of guts as they're nibbling at his feet and his ankles, and he still looks downfield and completes that pass.
He's up to 65 yards on 8 of 14 passing, still completing over 50% of his passes at 57.1%. He goes down the field at a wide open diving touchdown. Oh my goodness. It's Art Vandelay. He goes full Desmond Howard, pulls it in.
Exactly. Give that man the Heisman right now.
Oh, you got to see this. This must have been a coverage bust on the back end because there was nobody covering Vandelay.
Beautiful. Thing of beauty.
I tell you, Rick, we've had multiple top 10 worthy plays from this game, and we're just we're the very first game of the block.
It seems like each week we've got at least one top 10 candidate, doesn't it, Colin? Don't look now. It's going to be back to a one-score game. There it is.
And it's going to be a 21-14 game with 126 left.
Huh. Well, the Rick meter's twitching a little bit. A little nervous, still leaning Vegas, but Portland's making
That was
it
a
think.
22-yard touchdown pass. They take 4 plays to go 77 yards. Led, of course, by the big run on the second play of that drive by Ezekiel Love. And then O.J. Bruin, bouncing back from his earlier mistakes, is able to find the end zone through the air.
Yeah, I'm reminded that the betting public feels that Portland are 7.5-point favorites. And maybe Portland is just kind of getting themselves woken up a little bit. The betting public may know more than what we think.
Over under 54.5.
And we're running ahead of that schedule, so the over's in play. The virtual over is in right now.
And the throw is nearly intercepted. There were multiple white jerseys around Tiberius Bovine, but ultimately the ball hit the ground, 2nd and 10. And the struggles for Joseph Green continue. He's 8 of 14 for 97 yards, but a lot of the damage has come from that man in the backfield, Scott Johnson. As DC tacks on a field goal to take a 6-point lead over Atlanta. Bovine makes the catch that time. That's the 7th tackle for Gary Clem. He's been busy from his outside linebacker spot.
Well, Las Vegas would like to try and make this a 2-score game, which a field goal will do. They've got some time. But they're going to need to be a little more in a hurry.
They're winding it under a minute to go, and Green slant over the middle, caught. 1st down, and here comes the hurry up as Blades again on the reception. They have all 3 timeouts remaining, but they like the set that Portland's in right now. And accept that. Zach made on the play by number 96, Derwin Nueva.
The dreams of an end of the half score seem to be.
Johnson makes a big run all the way down to the 46, and it sets up a 3rd and 3. They still haven't called any timeouts. It's not necessarily the world's greatest clock management, but Green back to throw again. Slant over the middle, nearly intercepted on the deflection by Bob Funk.
Yeah, they're left a lot of time on the board here with their not using a timeout here.
You know, I've been impressed with the play of both of these quarterbacks. Sure, they're not throwing for the bundles of yardage we're accustomed to most quarterbacks to seeing, but for rookie quarterbacks, they've been developed well, they've been coached well. Oh, the gunner tried to down into the end zone. That's Merrick Itera, the special teams ace. Well, unable to down it inside the 5.
I think he knew what he wanted to do, but he gets acquainted with one of Newton's laws. Body in motion stays in motion.
And we reach halftime, 21-14, Vegas in front. Vegas for a long time controlled this game, but Portland able to claw back within 7. But unfortunately for the Fleet, they had to kick off the Vegas again to start the second half of play. As the kick by David John is away, fielded at the 1 by Doug Britton, and Doug Britton out to the 27. Where Las Vegas will begin 1st and 10. As Joseph Green lines up in the shotgun, 1st and 10, 3 wide. Mason Kirby, Doug Britton without a catch in that first half, as it's mostly been that man's show, John Blades, but we have a flag down, as I think there was a late hit on the play.
There's a flag on the play. There it is.
And they're going to call this on the Fleet defense. That is Gary Clem. A little overzealous trying to make sure the man was down, but he was down already.
I don't know about that one. Just kind of fell on him, you know.
Just seems kind of ticky-tacky-ish to me. We'll give him first down. The Portland 47. Here's Green under center. Quick drop. Slant over the in, cut over the middle, pick up 3 yards.
Number 56, credited with the tackle.
Here's 2nd and 7.
2nd and 6.
Just underway here in the third. Las Vegas in front by 7, looking to try and extend the advantage into a 2-score variety.
2-score variety. One of any leading team's favorite varieties.
Blades again hauls it in and then runs over a defender to boot as he gets knocked out of bounds at the 35.
Hey, visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Gear the fans wear with Sector 6. Get the gear fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL.
Trips to the bottom as Green fires it down the middle. What a catch by Bovine. As at first intended to 15, and they send the big tight end on a deep pattern, a deep post across the middle, in between 3 white jerseys. What a throw by Green. Sorry if my colleague seems a little distracted today.
Distracted? Who are you talking distracted? Who are you saying distracted? Busy trying to fix my mistakes from that last read. I seem to have to repeat lines several times.
133 yards and 16 carries for Johnson.
2nd and 5.
Now with that last carry. Here's the toss out to Johnson, and he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Third and 5 for Vegas. They've been 5 and 9 on third down. This is play number 48 on the game. And the throw to the end zone, John Blades touchdown.
Nice. Into traffic, too. So it's got to be a well-placed ball. Let's see if we get another look at that, Colin.
And we will. The boys in the truck, our weekly talks must be finally paying off.
There we go.
Oh, he just
kind of has to reach out and extend a little bit, right?
Right, but since he's 6'4", 225, he's got a much bigger catch radius than someone would say, 6'1" or 6'2".
And there'll be more Pop-Tarts and Mountain Dew for the tech team in the truck. With our thanks.
The extra point is up and good. We have a 28-14 game with 8:17 to go in the third.
Now, some people might say the Rick meter should go, full Las Vegas victory, full Las Vegas, but it's not. It's just leading Las Vegas at this point. Portland's shown us something, Colin, the ability to spark up and score. It seems episodic, but they're only down by 2 scores.
And score relatively quickly. And they've scored in 4 plays, 5 plays, less than 10
Oh,
plays.
oh.
As a return by Leo Morris is up over the 40 to the Las Vegas 41. I thought he was going to go all the way.
Yeah.
But Max Jackson chases him down from behind.
Max Jackson says nothing to it. I got an extra gear. Do you?
As we watch the return again, this multi-man wedge, he just follows it, makes one cut and goes. Oh, poor Matt Rage. He was blocked in the ground by a special teams backup tight end or something. Poor guy. He had no chance. Oh, man.
Well, with great field position. Let's see what Portland can do here.
Portland's not going away easy, and they'll start off with an Ezekiel Love run. He's up to 135 yards with that long run that set up the touchdown earlier of 60 plus. As they go 2 tight ends to the weak side. And here's the throw out to the second tight end who drops it. It's a 3rd and 7 now from the 38. They're down by a couple of touchdowns. As Bruins back to throws, in cut over the middle, the 2 yards short of the sticks, right on the very fringes of field goal range for David John as Adams hauls that in. Does Portland send out their field goal kicker? And it looks like, yes, they will. This will be about...
They'll settle for the points.
Well, points are critical at this juncture. Here's from the left hash, and the kick is up and good from 49 by David John. He nailed it.
Nicely done. So, still a 2-score game, but some points that could be important as we get into the end of the 4th quarter, Colin. You just never know. You never know.
You're right. Could be important. And that was a...
You always want to take your points, especially on the road, right? Isn't that some kind of maxim?
Yes. And even though they were only able to advance 7 yards on those 4 plays, Leo Morris's huge kickoff return to the Vegas 41 played a huge part in that role, and Doug Britton will set his team up at the 25.
To get their huge 3 points. Could be a huge difference. Why are you shaking your fist at me again? That's a huge fist.
Well, I swear, one of these days I'm going to set up a cliche jar and make you put a nickel in it.
A nickel. All right, I got a nickel for you.
They got 3 holes.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that cliche joke.
Here is the throw in the middle, and Bovine drops it. He had a good hit on him. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that's going to be a difficult play either way. Kind of not there. We get another look at it here. So 2nd and 10. Las Vegas would like to respond. They're stuck in the minus side of the field. What do they got? What you got?
Well, I would definitely consider going to Scott Johnson. Yes, Green's been effective. He threw a touchdown pass on the last drive, but Johnson's been the story. They stick with Green as he goes down the middle. That's trouble and nearly intercepted. First by, I believe that was Majors, and then Sean Allen had his mitts on it. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, a couple of opportunities there, for sure.
You gotta love the magenta accents throughout the Vegas uniform, like on the numbers, on the face mask.
Yeah, the
The
face
stripes in the socks. It's tastefully done, as they would say.
A little more than subtle. You got to notice it.
Green on the corner route, nearly intercepted by shot out.
Another almost a reverse immaculate reception there. I said, caroms off the receiver and defender right to another defender who seems surprised.
He wasn't ready for to catch that ball, I guess. He must have missed some volleyball sessions during training camp.
Right. But they force a punt. Does the Fleet.
They forced a punt from McRack. And Dustin has a pretty good punt. This will be fielded by Morris. Who returns it to the 37. And Portland's back on offense. They have momentum. They got 3 points the last time they had the ball. Can they get 7 to get themselves a little bit closer? They come out with 4 wide receivers. 3 to the bottom, 1 to the top. And O.J. Bruin! And threw a pick instead. Tom Krieg, they call him Blitzkrieg. And this time he grabs it out of the air.
It's a lightning war against the Fleet. As there's another turnover, and this one hurts a little bit, Colin, as we're well into the third.
And Bruin had been playing a clean game up to that previous pass, so that's got to be even more of a sort of stomach-churning move right there. And John Blades continues his hot streak. He's up over 100 yards on 9 grabs. He's got 113.
And there's a big play coming out of the sudden change of momentum, right out of the Lloyd Carr and many other coaches' playbook. Let's see if we can strike something here. Catch him napping, and he finds a seam in the defense.
It's a 20-yard completion on first down. Tom Krieg. He's a dark horse candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year, many people feel in the SFL. And that interception is one of the reasons why. As Johnson is stopped in the backfield for a loss of 1 good one-on-one tackle by Gary Clem.
Visit the SFL's YouTube channel at youtube.com/SimulationFL for an archive of every game, every draft, every moment you might have missed since the Simulation Football League got its start in 2013. SFL YouTube features Top 10 Plays of the Week, archived people behind players, segments, and all the major milestones in league history.
2nd 11, I formation, Green back to throw, fires, one-handed catch. The Vegas receivers are just showing up now. And what a catch by Mason Kirby, his first of the day. And you can't get much more spectacular for your first catch than a one-handed grab.
Yeah, that was kind of sick, wasn't it?
There's a 3rd and 1 situation. They have Miramontes in the backfield along with Johnson. 2 tight ends to the same side. Here's to get to Johnson on a dive, but he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Combo tackle made by Thomas, as well as number 64, Bernard Patterson, the defensive tackle.
Wow.
You know, even though Vegas is going to get 3 points out of this, I'd consider it a win, given what...
Well, yes.
Given the fact that their defense was put in a less than ideal situation by their offense.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and so for Las Vegas, they're going to match points, or attempt to match points.
As Matt Rage, his kick is from 42, is up and good.
He's all the rage.
It's now 31-17 with 4:18 to go in the third. Holder was tackled, but they weren't calling roughness. The lead stretches back up to 14. Kick is away, fielded by Leo Morris. He had a big return last time, and they hem him in this time at the 29-yard line. So he matches his jersey number. That's where his offense will start I love it when guys match their jersey numbers.
There's some kind of synchronicity to all that.
Mac Jackson, couple of picks. Tom Krieg had one on the very first play of Portland's drive last time they had the ball. This time they'll start with an Ezekiel Love handoff, and he only gets one. See the numbers for Mr. Love.
Getting scarily close to the over, by the way, for those of you keeping track of that.
4 wide.
So we're at 48 with the over-under set at 54.5.
Here's Bruin going long as a man. It's Gene Valentine all the way down to the Vegas 20-yard line.
Gets position on his defender, and Bruin sees it and lets it rip.
Just a simple post, gets position on Itera. Colin Trulli goes for the swat. And Itera able to run him down. Pick up a 37, longest play today, passing-wise for the Portland offense. And now they go 3 tight ends, I formation. Lozano Jr. on the wing. Here's to get to Ezekiel Love on that pulling play they like to do so much. They pick up 3. They're down to the 17.
Portland trying to, with a touchdown here, can bring it back to within 1 score. We're still in the third, ladies and gentlemen.
And now they line up the extra tight end in the backfield next to Trusman. This is the power I. Here's a get to Love, and Love cuts inside, picks up a first down at the 8-yard line. It'll be first and goal.
That's a Portland fleet first down.
As you see the yardage there, he's had a healthy 9.4 yards to carry. Lineman was blown up in the backfield, the pulling guard, but other guys able to make a difference downfield, and Love able to find room down to the 8. Again, they go 3 tight ends. I'm out of the I formation once again. It's the same play we saw before, and Love making a couple of great moves down to the goal line. They said he didn't score. It'll be second and goal. Look at the block downfield by Nelson Lozano Jr.
Got so close. So very close.
Do they give it to him to finish the job? Let's see. They'll spread things out a little. They bring in a couple wide receivers. 2 to the bottom, 1 to the top. They got to be careful here. Oh, this will be a counter play, and Love gets stopped in the backfield.
Ends up being counterproductive as they go backwards.
Chris Cologne, the 8-season veteran, his first year in Vegas, spent the previous 7 with the Carolina Skyhawks, primarily as defensive tackle, kicks outside to defensive end, makes this a 3rd and goal from the 3. Here's to get the Love up the middle, and Ezekiel Love only get to the 2.
Oh my gosh.
So they go conservatively.
Well, field goal's not going to really help them as much.
Not as much as a touchdown, but it's still points.
They're going for the points. I don't know. Is this the right call? Discuss.
This is from the right hash. This will be about a 17-yard field goal attempt. And a 19 they'll officially call it. It's up and good. It's now 31-20 with 49 ticks left to go here in the 3rd. So meanwhile, in the other game over on the SFL Twitch network,
With the other guys.
DC Dragons in front of the Atlanta Swarm, 16-10. Huge game not only in the North Division as DC tries to keep pace with an undefeated Baltimore. There's a lot of teams looking up in the East at Atlanta, hoping the Swarm maybe take the L in the loss column.
Indeed. Well, Las Vegas with an 11-point advantage would like to extend that here and burn some clock as we're getting to the end of the third quarter, Colin.
For the Portland defense, I think it's a critical juncture now that they try and get a turnover.
Snap, lots of time.
Throw over the middle, and Green incomplete. And there was a backup linebacker that went out for Portland earlier with a broken kneecap. Ouch.
Ooh, I missed that one.
I must have missed it too. I just saw the graphic on screen. I guess the boys in the truck saw it, but forgot to tell us. During the waiver with 2 sacks today, he's been highly productive for this Fleet defense. They've had a couple chances at trying to get picks from this rookie quarterback, Joseph Green, who completes yet another pass to John Blades. He's up to 203 yards. Blades has 121 and 9 grabs and a touchdown.
A coverage of the Simulation Football League 17th season on Next Level Sports continues next Saturday, September 11th at 2:30 p.m. in the East. Saturday, honoring the military service and sacrifice. Louisiana hosts defending champ Denver, followed by Lone Star hosting Los Angeles. Bonus coverage includes Arizona, Vancouver, and DC, Portland. It all comes your way next Saturday on Next Level Sports. And even Denver, the service dog, got excited about next Saturday's coverage. Yes, we brought Denver with us here to Las Vegas. He's been generally a good pup today.
A-star Miramontes caught that pass out of the backfield. She ends up a few yards short of the sticks. And that's the end of the third quarter. Vegas in front 31-20. Put your 4s and 86s up in the chat, folks, as we enter the fourth and final period. Of course, there's a lot of former and active military personnel involved in the SFL at all levels, whether they be players, owners, coaches,
stats
people, you name it.
Stats people are people too, you know. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Justin Residing and Art Vanderlake keeping up with the facts and figures. Thank you so much, boys. Makes all of us sound smarter up here in the broadcast booth. I see Achilles Papatonis, the defensive end for the Vancouver Legion, puts his numbers in the chat. Thank you, Mr. Papatonis. As Portland, trying to make things interesting, we'll go out to Gene Valentine. As you look at the numbers for Bruin, he's at 150. Green's at 210. Both quarterbacks have 1 touchdown, but Green's thrown no picks and Bruin's thrown 3. That's the primary difference between them so far, not just the yardage. Bruin is 12 of 20 with that last completion. He's hit as he throws, and that one hits the turf. Rhett Sawyer, number 54, came in and delivered the big hammer blow.
He did. A big truck coming right at him.
All right. You ain't kidding. This guy is Sawyer's 6'5", 290 defensive tackle.
That's a large individual.
3rd and 5. Back to throw. Slip. Beautifully played by the linebacker, Slim Shady, who has a pick today. Pass would have been good enough for first down. As Portland is forced to punt in the opening minutes here of the
fourth.
The fourth quarter.
Yes, the fourth.
Rush on.
Use the fourth, Colin. May the fourth be with you.
And Doug Britton returns.
Well, it's getting to be do or die time for Portland. I know there's 10 minutes left, but sometimes you can there can only be you only have a few possessions, a couple possessions maybe in one quarter, and they're going to need to take advantage of it.
And for Las Vegas, that guy's been able to take advantage of it. Scott Johnson, well over 128 yards, 3 touchdowns. Had a couple grabs out of the backfield. Speaking of receptions, nice grab by Doug Britton, his first catch. So every star receiver, star player has at least one grab. That's a good job there by Michael Irvine and his coaching staff to making sure everybody gets a touch of the pie.
Indeed, and distribution around your all your skilled players.
And goes to Green, goes down for the sack. And for the third time today, Duran Nuevo gets to the quarterback.
Wow.
Look at this move right here. He just muscles around the offensive lineman and brings him down from behind.
That's a strong skill move right there.
Sets up a 3rd and a full 10 as Vegas goes 5 wide trips to the top. Green changes the play. He's back to throw. He'll go short to Kirby, but that's nowhere near the yardage they need. Kristosh on the tackle for Portland.
It does have the advantage of keeping the clock moving as he is down within the field of play. Trying to make the enemy, the clock, an even bigger enemy of Portland.
McCrack, he's been productive punting today. Leo Morris, fumble! Fumble, the ball loose! And I believe Vegas is back on the ball at the 19.
It's a scrum and a scramble for it.
Oh my goodness. Leo Morris, who had the big kickoff return earlier, fumbles the ball, and then the ensuing scrum, Max Jackson comes in.
Wow, Mr.
With
Max.
the ball.
Called his name quite a bit, Colin, especially in several key plays or key moments for Portland.
Key moments indeed. This one being critical here as they take the ball. Starting at the 19, Scott Johnson up the middle. He fumbles. He gets it right back. Oh my goodness.
Oh, no.
Just when you thought this game couldn't get any more crazy, it has.
We didn't have any.
Michael Davis fell on the ball.
We didn't have any fumbles at all so far, and then 2 on back-to-back plays, right?
Wow.
Crazy.
Ball marked down at the 10. It's been a while since we've seen back-to-back fumbles in an SFL game. I gotta admit that.
Yes.
Portland will start from their own 10 with 3 tight ends. Ezekiel Love on the carry makes a man miss, and the Olin picks up 4. There's
Max Jackson. There's your guy.
He's got 5 tackles, and he's got 2 interceptions
I think
today.
they said 7 on the graphic, actually. We'll see. We'll get that maybe at the end of the game.
Here is Love up the middle. He'll gain 2 more. I can see the logic wanting to run the ball considering you're in the negative part of the field. Inside your own 20.
Yep. But there's also logic behind getting yourself down into the red zone in a hurry.
Now they go bunch to the top, man tight. As Bruin outcut complete to Warner, who was the single receiver to that side, and Benjamin Warner, 6'2", 205.
Mm-hmm. And, moving the sticks. Okay.
That's something you always want to see offensive coordinators do. You want them to focus on moving the sticks, not so much going down the field trying to get the big play all the time.
Moving the sticks, focusing on moving the sticks is underrated, especially in the second half, where your possessions are becoming more and more limited. and you want to have a productive possession. I'm not saying there's not a time for taking your shots or doing some things, but you've got to go with your the low-hanging fruit, which is the plays you need to keep the chains rolling.
Here is Bruin down the field, intercepted. Max Jackson, the third time he's grabbed the ball, and Art Vandelay was the intended receiver, and the young rookie quarterback trying to go down the field. Ultimately,
I had just mentioned taking a shot. There are times. That's costly.
Comes up. He thought he was gonna get a blackjack, but instead he ended up with aces and eights.
8s and 8. Ooh, dead man's hand. Stay with your blackjack metaphor. He thought he was going to get blackjack, but he busted.
That works too. As Johnson hits this ball in the backfield, picks up 2. To get the drive started. Gary Clem, 11 tackles from his outside linebacker position.
Wow.
His weak outside linebacker position.
That's the will. Where there's a will, there's a way for tackles.
Big shout out to a guy like Scott Johnson. 22 carries, which matches his jersey number. This is carry number 23, and he stopped exactly at the midfield stripe by a host of white-shirted defenders. Robert Brower on the tackle. This is 3rd and 8. Vegas is 6 of 14. Portland's 3 of 8. Joseph Green back to throw. Slant over the middle, caught. And that's a guy who's coming clutched it. Hey, it's Joseph Green. He completes that pass that time to Doug Britton, the wide receiver.
Let's see this.
Oh, that's the tightest window we've seen all day.
I know.
Ball is marked at the 37. 22 of 33 for 237 yards, 7.2 yards per pass attempt. As Johnson gets stopped in the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1, Gary Burney and Bernard Patterson, the tacklers there, bringing him down.
Well, as we take under 5 minutes to go here in the game, Colin Rickmeter's coming in with a full-on Las Vegas. Rickmeter predicting a Las Vegas win, ladies and gentlemen. Portland just doesn't seem to have enough gas in the tank.
As Green fires a first down completion on the deep out pattern to Tiberius Bovine. What a luxury a guy like Bovine is to a rookie quarterback like Green.
Of course, that comment will now fire up the Portland squad as the Rickmeter, full of the delusional Rickmeter, believes that the SFL is organized purely for the teams to compete for its glory. Taking their time.
Here's the give to Johnson, breaks a tackle, almost broke a second one, gets 8 yards, down to the 17. Man, this guy has been money on those weak power O plays.
He hasn't kind of waited for Portland's D to maybe adjust to that, but they haven't. It still continues to work here late in the game. And, you know, I wonder what if fatigue plays a role on the Portland D side of the ball, Colin.
Yeah. You've been receiving a lot of these body blows, and occasionally they've been haymakers that have knocked you against the rope.
Uh-oh. Nice. A little back up to go forward move. I don't
Just
see
a
that.
little hesitation in the hold to cross him up a little bit, and it gets a first down to the 13.
Yeah, I don't see that very often. Oh, there's a nice shot of the what kind of predator bird is that?
That's a Firebird.
The Firebird. Ooh,
Hence why they have flames on their uniforms.
the Diablo chicken. Ooh. Just come up with that? Yeah, just made that up.
Oh, from one of the great comedy movies of all time. Scott Johnson picks up a yard. You see the average yards per carry there.
Shake and bake, buddy.
Gary Burney. He's got 4 total tackles today, 3 solo for a defensive tackle. Not too bad for a guy in his position.
What his position, his age? What? Or his
The spot he plays on the field.
There we go.
The spot he plays on the field.
Yeah.
Is what I was referring to.
Having himself a game.
They get one more playoff before the 2-minute warning. Scott Johnson handoff to the Fleet 10-yard line. We reach the 2-minute warning. Vegas in front 31-20. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on FTF. Third down and 6. They line up in the gun. Green's got to be careful here, because they have the 3 points that they can't get the first down. Green goes to the outcut, got the first down, nearly a touchdown, as he's knocked out of bounds at the 1 in Portland. Now is in the process of burning their timeouts.
They'll be burning their timeouts as Las Vegas threatening to score and threatening to possibly blow up the over-under, hit the over.
First and goal at the 1.
Tight bunch.
Here's a get to Johnson up the middle, carries defenders into the end zone for his 4th rushing touchdown of the day.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. And the Firebird animates itself with that score.
Just simple, straight ahead football, carrying Mel Davis and Darren Nueva, who's been pretty good for the Fleet.
Yeah, nothing but eye candy with that tight bunch to the right side of the formation as they just play straight ahead smash mouth football.
Matt Rage's extra point. Portland will have 1 timeout to work with on their upcoming drive. Snap a little low, but the extra point has been good.
Well, and with that, we hit 58 total points. 18-point lead for Las Vegas.
Meanwhile, in Washington, in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the Atlanta Swarm extend their lead over the D.C. Dragons 24-16. Leo Morris on the return up to the 28. You know, Portland's going to drop to 4-3, but I don't think they have anything to be truly ashamed about. They were competitive throughout the game. Both their key offensive skill guys went over 100 yards, but ultimately the turnovers proved a little too much to overcome.
Yeah, I think this game, the story of this game will be written through the turnovers and really Las Vegas' defense, Colin. I mean, they not only produced the turnovers, but they continually stymied Portland even without the turnovers.
As here's the deep post to Warner. Catch is made to the 50, and we continue to move.
Of course, Las Vegas offense wants me to talk about how the Portland D has turned out to be leaky as they hang 38 on them.
Here's the throw in the backfield to Love. Love makes 2 spins, carries defenders to the 38. To quickly follow up on your point on Las Vegas defense being stymied, that was only the 10th first down gained all game long, or 11th.
By
and
Portland.
by Portland, and they were 3 of 8 on third down today. That doesn't help the cause. Loss of 7 on the play as Merrick Itera on the blitz gets home. Here's another dump off to Love, and Love steps out of bounds after pickup of 2. 3rd and 15 from the 44 with 50 seconds left. They actually had 2 timeouts remaining, not 1. Apologize for the earlier error.
Maybe you should have yelled 2.
Slim Shady, the team's general manager and linebacker, says this has been our most complete performance of the season. And I would have a tendency to agree. All 3 phases played pretty well. But a coup de grace. Here's an interception by Max Jackson. Down the field he goes. There's only one man to beat, and he gets knocked down at the Portland 28-yard line.
Well, with 38 seconds to go, that's going to be it for the Portland Fleet, Colin. And boy, Max, he's maxing out today. Player of the game.
Insane hops from Jackson that time as Bruin was looking down the field, and, it's just been one of them days for O.J. Bruin. That's now 5 interceptions thrown.
Yeah, I know you said that Portland, acquitted themselves pretty well and doesn't have too much to feel bad about, but I'm sure they are not happy over there with their performance and, coming into here being favored by 7.5 points, 4-2 record, divisional game. They give up 38.
Yeah, they're 7.5-point favorites on the road. You don't see that very often in the SFL, but it does come up from time to time as the Las Vegas Fury will proceed in one of the better formations in football if you are the winning team, the victory formation.
Okay. The ritual burning of timeouts. Almost as famous as the Viking funeral pyre.
One more kneel down or 2 ought to do it. Thanks to our statisticians, Justin Reside and Art Bandelay, as we get our final numbers on guys like Scott Johnson, 147 yards, 29 carries, 4 touchdowns. John Blades, leading receiver for Vegas, 10 grabs, 126 yards, touchdown.
Look at the Gary Clem numbers there.
Gary Clem, 13 solo tackles as a will linebacker, with 1 assist, 14 total tackles, including a TFL and a pass defense.
Single-handedly trying to stop the Las Vegas Fury onslaught.
Other than the interceptions for O.J. Bruin, his numbers weren't too bad. He threw for 169 and 16 of 28 passes. But that's the final score of the game, 38-20.
Here's your post-game show.
405 total yards of offense.
26 minutes to 17 minutes on time of possession. We talked about how the
7 turnovers. I forgot about the fumble on the punt return.
Right. Yeah, we talked about how the Portland defense may have gotten gassed. And you can see why they were on the field a lot longer than they would normally be.
Shout out to Derwin Nueva. 3 sacks and 4 total tackles. Leading sacker for both squads. David John, 2 field goals, long of 49.
Get a view of some of the recap of the action, scoring action, or turnovers.
Ezekiel Love finishes with 163 yards and 22 carries and a touchdown. But at the end of the day, Rick, even though they had big plays like this to Gene Valentine, at the end of the day, O.J. Bruin threw a few too many picks.
Yeah, not able to really rally his squad against the stout Fury defense today. And boy, how excited are you if you're Las Vegas, right? You gotta had some good special teams play. Your offense was clicking. Your defense was stout. And they gotta feel good about themselves heading into next week.
Yeah, if they win that game, they can approach 500.
They'll be at 500.
They'll be at 5.
Not just approach, achieve.
And the West of the Pacific Division race continues to tighten. As we play the game, drum roll please. Scott Johnson, 156 yards, 4 touchdowns, also had 11 receiving yards. So 160 plus total yards. Congratulations to Mr. Johnson.
My alternative is Max Jackson, just for the record.
Justin Reside, our Vandalay, thank you so much. For our executive producer Cameron Irvine, I'm Colin Northrup. He's Rick Northrup. Have a good rest of your afternoon, folks. See you around.